dropshipping is dead. A cruise with a bunch of nomads, I'm in. Why do I feel like I want more? I would start with selling all the crap that you have in your closet and in your garage.
When I first time left Ukraine and was super green, not even digital nomad yet, I met this crazy guy who was destroying my community. He was creating activities every single day, not even working at the co-working space. And that is so fun to see how we both grow over the years. And then we met on Nomad Cruise, and now we met on another Nomad Cruise. And I'm so happy to see David and Denise, his wife, on this cruise together after so many years. Hello.
Hello again. But yeah, that was actually what I didn't share earlier was that was actually my first co-working space that I had ever been to in my life. Because again, I was never part of the nomadic community or digital nomads. I didn't even know what it was, you know. A friend named Johnny FD wanted to interview me for his podcast, and then we became friends. And he invited me to Koh Lanta, Thailand to join this co-working space and hang out with them. And when I went to the co-working space is where I met you, and you know, you were also this really rambunctious, really cool girl riding around on her motorbike, you know. And when I went to that co-working space, I saw all these digital nomads on their laptops working hard and making podcasts and content. And I was like, I don't really have to work right now. So I just pretended to work, and I was just kind of looking fun things to do in Koh Lanta. And I was just posting things I was doing in the community. Hey, on Monday, I'm going to go scuba diving. On Tuesday, I'm going to go do this. Thursday, I'm going to do this. So that was my first experience at that co-working space. Yep.
That's a real truth. That's a super cool story.
Yep.
Do you remember the moment when you first time found out about Nomad Cruise and you felt like, hey, I want to join?
I do. It was actually at that same co-working space, and through a chain of events, while I was posting the activities that I was doing, and I was also looking for friends to join me, I was going to this place called Emerald Bay, and it's basically a place in the middle of the ocean on a tiny rock where the only way to enter this beach is through an underwater cave during low tide. So that was only going to happen at 4 a.m. So I was going there on like a Tuesday, and I shared in the Facebook group, hey, I'm going here. Does anyone want to join me, right? I didn't expect a lot of people to join me, but that morning, a couple named Ian and V that you also know showed up. And it was an American and an Australian. And I just thought they were so cool that they were so spontaneous to randomly show up to a random guy's activity. And they went with me on that adventure, and we had so much fun. And through that, we became best friends.
They're so fun.
They're really fun. And after a couple of weeks of hanging out with Ian and V, they're like, hey, David, we just interviewed someone for our podcast named Johannes, who's a really interesting guy. And he's doing this thing called the Nomad Cruise. We're going to join. You should join too. And this was at the time of my life where I was kind of saying yes to everything, you know, like just seeing where life would take me. And I said, a cruise with a bunch of nomads, this sounds awesome. I'm in. So that's how I found out about the cruise through Ian and V.
What made you come back over and over again?
That's a really easy question to answer. This has now been my 6th cruise. And the one thing that keeps pulling me back in over and over is the tribe. It's the community. It's the people. The destinations are really nice. The food is really nice. The cruise ship is really nice, but it's not the same without the community.
Like, just look at this view. It's beautiful up there. But what means community for you?
So what that means to me is, in a lot of ways, when I was growing up, I never felt like I belonged anywhere. You know, I always felt like I was the black sheep in my circle of friends and family. Whenever someone asked me what I did for a living, I would hesitate to answer because a lot of times when I answered, they wouldn't know what the heck I was talking about, you know? So I just felt alone a lot of times, right? So it wasn't until I joined these nomadic events and joined the Nomad Cruise specifically where I felt like I belonged. There was a bunch of other people who were just as weird as me, doing a lot of cool things, doing new things, starting different businesses just like me, who also had a passion to travel the world and experience new things. And I just felt an instant connection to people that were just like-minded like me, and I felt at home.
You've been a traveler and nomad for so many years. I lost count. And what kind of income streams you have, or what kind of businesses you were able to build over the years that actually allow you to travel non-stop, or at least as much as you want?
So the beginning of my entrepreneurship career, I was not nomadic at all. I was quite the opposite. I was working 60, 70 hours a week for the first 15 years building different businesses. I started with e-commerce and made a lot of money with that. And that just transitioned into online courses because a lot of people were asking me how I was doing what I was doing. So I created a bunch of online courses, Udemy courses, and that spiraled into a bunch of success. So I created a couple courses. And from the money that I made between e-commerce and courses, I saved all that money and started investing into real estate. And it wasn't until I started investing in real estate where my wealth grew, because of asset appreciation, equity pay down, and rental income, right? So now that's sprawled into a small portfolio of a couple of pieces of real estate and Airbnbs as well. And that has really now allowed me to have semi-passive income to where I can travel more and not work as much. At the same time, if I wanted to try new businesses and new ideas, I could experiment and try without worrying about not having money coming in.
Nice. It sounds very easy, but I'm sure it was not easy.
Yeah.
How many years you struggled until it actually started to pay off?
For about 15 years. So between the ages of, I started really early, but let's just say, for example, my adult life from 18 to, I didn't start traveling until I was 32 or 33. So for the first 15 years, yeah, it was a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears.
I've heard that methods that were really working like 10 years ago, they're actually not really working anymore. Like dropshipping, maybe courses is way difficult to build right now than back then. Would you recommend anyone to start these days commerce or courses or Airbnb?
100%. So a lot of people, so I started with drop shipping, especially on eBay and on Amazon. And a lot of people say drop shipping is dead, right? They really don't understand is the strategy and the concept of drop shipping is exactly the same. The only thing that has changed is the platform, right? So now you can drop ship from Facebook. You can do TikTok. There's so many different platforms nowadays. Temu is another one, right? Alibaba. There's a plethora of different platforms nowadays that will allow someone to capture market share and sell products online. So drop shipping is definitely not dead. It's just what platform can you learn and master and implement and make an income out of it. So it absolutely still works.
As a true traveler, do you have a budget that you plan for yourself, for Denisa, to spend every month when you travel?
We don't necessarily have a specific budget, like 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 a month. We don't have to worry about a budget, but our budget is not unlimited, but we don't really have to worry so much about budget. Yeah.
Is it because I've heard that you are using a lot of miles to spend on flights and hotels, so it's takes majority of the budget, right?
Yeah, that's definitely one of them. So being an American, I'm very lucky to be able to hack credit cards, right? We have a system in America where you can get points and miles for signing up for credit cards and for spending on these cards. So because of that, I do accumulate a lot of miles and points through my normal business expenses and through sign-up bonuses. And because of that, we don't really have to pay a lot for hotels. Going on this Nomad Cruise, flight for my wife from Romania to Canada, flight for me from California to Canada. It wasn't that much anyways, but we paid like $25 for our flights because we utilize the rest with points, and our hotels and Airbnbs as well. We booked that with points. So we don't spend so much dollars because we do have a pool of points available to us. And we try to save that cash for business or investments or things that can produce us money.
It's such a cool opportunity because it's only, as I know, available for Americans and not for, as I know, definitely not for Ukrainians. That's for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately for people in Europe or Southeast Asia, there's not a huge incentive from the credit card companies that provide those kind of, it's really an American advantage thing for sure. Yeah.
Okay, you at least know what things cost across the globe. What budget would you recommend to people to plan for themselves when they travel maybe to different areas, at least the range of it?
Yeah, I would say if you're just like a normal couple who doesn't have a pool of points and miles, it depends on your location. So for a couple to travel to Southeast Asia, for example, right? You don't need that much money. $1,500 to $3,000 a month will usually get you a nice villa. Food is very inexpensive. Flights around Southeast Asia is very cheap. And that also includes activities are also pretty expensive. So I think that's a pretty good budget to start with in Southeast Asia. And then if you're going to somewhere like in Europe, it's probably going to cost a little bit more, maybe double that, maybe $3,000 to $5,000 a month. So yeah.
You know, I have a lot of friends. You hear a lot of things like rumors, what is trendy, what is working for people, what is not working. If someone wants to start right now online business or make money online, what is the go-to way these days, which is trendy, which you believe can work?
I would start with selling all the crap that you have in your closet and in your garage. Believe it or not, people always, oh, Dave, how do I make an extra $500 or $1,000 this month? Go look in your garage. Go look in your closet. You have a ton of unused things, I promise you, that you don't use that you can sell on eBay right away, right? And then if you understand that, then now you can go find those products. People will sell those products for pennies on the dollar, you know? You can do couch flipping, for example. I'm a big person on flipping things online. You can find couches that people will throw away for free in the States. I think in Europe as well. But people will literally pay you to come to their house and take away their couch for free or for $25 or $50. And all you have to do is clean it up and then resell it for $300 or $400 or $500, you know? And that's just with couches. You can do that with so many things. So I believe for anyone just to get started to make a little bit of money, flipping things online is completely underrated. And then from there, obviously, if you want to scale, then you can look into drop shipping, look into eBay, Amazon FBA, e-commerce, TikTok. There's so many things you can do online. But for someone just to get started, selling physical products is my way to go. If I had to start all over again, that's what I would do.
That's why I'm selling physical magazines.
There you go. Perfect.
Are there anything else that I haven't asked you, but you would like to add from yourself?
How to find love in the nomad community?
I have a question.
Go ahead. I get asked this question a lot.
No. Well, you found the love in the nomad community,
right. Yes, I did. Yeah. I found my wife on Nomad Cruise number 5. Fast forward, now we're 6 cruises in, and it was because of this cruise, because of this community, because of saying yes to opportunity to joining the cruise in the first place, and that's how I met my wife. So yeah.
This is a very beautiful story. Unfortunately, don't have time to tell it right now, but I think I recorded it actually from the stage, your story. So I'm even gonna share that. My question is to you, what is one big question you have inside of you and that you're trying to find the answer for? It can be mindfulness, relationships, business, something that bothers you and you keep coming back and searching for the answer.
That's a tough question, but the one thing I keep asking myself right now is, even though I have time freedom, even though I have money, even though I have Denise and my beautiful wife, I'm always still trying to figure out what else can I do to feel more fulfilled, to feel happier, you know, because it's almost so weird to feel like, I mean, I'm very happy and I'm very grateful for what I have, but it's like, why do I feel like I want more? And I don't understand why. So if anyone knows the answer for that, let me know.
We actually have Paul. Paul is going to answer these questions for us in the next edition.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, thank you.
Thank you. I hope you got the audio that time.
See you.